benefits of private business versus public business, I think is very important. You can get on the internet. You can go to the IRS, and the IRS will tell you, the typical business. But they'll say, choose what business is best for you, or which entity. That's what they'll say. Typical entity. They'll say, what type of entity you're going to use, and then choose which entity is best for you. And then it'll say, examples of typical entities, and they'll list LLC, corporation, sole proprietor, individual, so on and so forth. But that doesn't mean that that's all inclusive. So there is a definite way of privately doing business in the public. I mean, straight up, we do it all the time. People do it every day. Matter of fact, I had a consultation. Someone referred me to somebody. The person had money, and they were smart. You need to sit down with this person, blah blah blah. Usually, I don't do that, but I did, and went through my thing, and he was like, I guess he got back to the person who referred this person to me. And this guy thought the stuff was a scam, and he was like, well, you could, show him, have him call your accountant, or, because the IRS definitely speaks on sham trust. You can look in there and, start talking about sham trust and all this other stuff, and it speaks on that. But, hey, it's all about if you understand what you're doing, number one. And the IRS will always ask you, they never tell you, they ask you, what are you claiming? They just give you instructions on on the forms that you can file, but they don't tell you which one to file. So pay attention. So ultimately, I decided against, proving to this person that, hey, I don't do scams. I've been operating, and that matter of fact, I will authorize my accountant to let you know that the 1041 has been filed. And it's all good with the Internal Revenue Service, no problem. Ultimately, I don't have the time for that, and it didn't get back to me. It didn't get back to me that this person thought this was a scam or whatever directly to me, which is fine, that's cool. But allow me an opportunity to retort, an opportunity to cure. At least I would think, and I just don't. There's some people I don't chase people, man. I ain't chasing you. I ain't gonna argue. I don't care. You believe what you believe. I know what I know. I keep moving. But I said all that to say this. Just because you didn't know or don't know that something exists does not mean it does not. And just because the people that you work with or the professionals you deal with don't know that something exists doesn't mean it does not. And people are quick to always dismiss people. And I think you should use that to your advantage. Some of the benefits of, private business versus public business. We're going to get into that. And I'm saying, this is something, this stuff is done every day. This is not, I'd say it's not rocket science. When it comes to doing business in the jurisdiction of the United States, the commercial jurisdiction of the United States, for which the Internal Revenue Service is the accounting and, the accounting authority that is allowed to tax and and take penalties for use and certain use of the Federal Reserve notes, so on and so forth. When it comes to that, there are certain entities that are allowed to do business in the United States. Now, there are public entities who all of us are very familiar with. Very familiar with. But what most of us and a lot of us don't know is that there are also private entities that are recognized to do business in the public. Now, some people know them as Massachusetts Trust, Common Law Trust, Business Trust, so on and so forth. Now, I don't want to get into, all that. I just want to talk about the benefits. And I just want to break it down very succinctly. Because when it comes to the benefits of doing business private versus doing business public, to me it breaks down to the entity and how that entity is governed, and how and where and when it is governed. So very, very simply, we have public entities. All these are formulated or, created at the state level, but they are given federal jurisdiction. You know what I mean? So you get a federal EIN, the state EIN. Most people don't get the state EIN. Most people don't even deal with the state too much. And that's cool. You get a federal EIN. That entity owes its existence from the filings that were filed and the filing fee that was paid at the Secretary of State, whether it was on the website or in person. That's where that entity comes from. And because of where it comes from the public. It comes from legislation on a state level. So where it comes from is where it is governed from, to put it plain and simply. Now, point blank and period, I don't care what jurisdiction you're in. I'm with Brother Sharif from Thor Radio. It's all federal. And my plain and simple reason why I say that, without getting all specific anything, is Federal Reserve notes are federal. The dollars are federal. $5, $50, $100, all that's all federal. The states don't create money. You know what I mean? They know California Reserve note or Georgia Reserve note. Okay? So, with that being said, all transactions, in my opinion, have to deal with federal jurisdiction because there's a use of Federal Reserve notes. That's why the federal taxes come into play, because they're using Federal Reserve notes. You can go across the street to the gas station, grab some granola, yogurt, Twix, I don't know what you do, some gum, and then walk back home. And all that, man, you didn't even leave the city, let alone, the neighborhood in the same state. But that's, that comes in the federal, because you use Federal Reserve notes. So a state-created entity using Federal Reserve notes is two different jurisdictions, right? We can get into disregarded entity at the federal level and properly classified and all that other stuff on another episode. I just want to be specific with this. An LLC, a corporation, a C Corp, incorporate, all that stuff, I got my nonprofit, all that stuff, it owes its life to legislation. It wouldn't be there without the legislation, without the state, but it, uses Federal Reserve notes, do commerce and transact, and it has a federal EIN. So it's two jurisdictions. But ultimately, the legislation at the state level, that's what, for lack of a better term, is a master of the slave corporation. Now, you can say, I got a company. You ain't got no company. Especially if it's not a public, you got an LLC, it's not yours. It's not yours. You organized it at best. Maybe you had LegalZoom organize it on behalf of you, but you organized it. The state owns that company. You just have certain benefit for administering it and bringing it through commerce, helping it make money. And for that, certain employees are allowed wages, others are allowed salaries, and certain benefits. But all of that is governed by the Internal Revenue Service and by the state legislation with regard to that entity on both levels. It's a lot of red tape. It's a business. Is it a C Corp, S Corp, or sole proprietor? Or is it in corp? Is it LLP, limited liability partnership? What is it? Because no matter whichever one it is, they got a form for it. And there's rules to it. There's business expenses. So, I got the publication 535. This is, business expenses. Publication 535. And it goes through. It discusses the common business expenses and explains what is and is not deductible. All right? This is in the introduction. This is the first page. This is the one I got. I think this one's from. Let me grab this one. This one's old, so this was from 2016. There's 54 pages in here. 54-page document from the Internal Revenue Service. You can go to irs.gov and grab this. It's publication 535. First sentence from the introduction has got content. It's got a little picture of the eagle flying with fireworks, United States banner, and it looks like the Lincoln Monument. Introduction. This publication discusses common business expenses and explains what is and what is not deductible. The general rules for deducting business expenses are discussed in the opening chapter. The chapters that follow cover specific expenses and list other publications and forms you may need. All right? I like the first sentence, though. What is and is not deductible. This is how you know that this public stuff is not for me, man. This is how I know. It's not for me, man. So it goes on and it talks about employees' pay. These are deductible, deducting business expenses. Employees pay rent expenses, interest, taxes, insurance. There's certain costs you can deduct or capitalize. Amortization, depletion, business bad debts, other expenses, so on and so forth. So, as an administrator or an executive of a business, you can purchase on behalf of the business whatever you want. You can buy a gerbil, buy a monkey, raccoon, or, a water moccasin, some elephant carvings. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to be pejorative. I'm just saying you can buy whatever you want. The Internal Revenue Service will determine whether or not it is a deduction. That doesn't sound like a benefit to me. Reading in the first sentence that this publication discusses common business expenses and explains what is and is not deductible. Then talk in the next sentence, the general rules for deducting business expenses are discussed in the opening chapter. I don't like this automatically. This doesn't sound beneficial to me at all. Now, we can go a little deeper. Businesses can write off bad debts, so on and so forth. Businesses can write off other expenses. Businesses conduct interest off of loans or something. That's, individuals can do that too. Once again, under the business, I take you, we go out to eat or something, and I pay for it, and I use the business card. Come tax time, the IRS may not allow that as a deduction. They may, and if they do, they only allow 50%. So they're basically being told where you can and cannot put money in the business. It's restricted. Delving a little deeper, y'all know me. If y'all know me, y'all know where I'm going. Publication 15B, Employer's Guide to Fringe Benefits. Employer's Tax Guide to Fringe Benefits. Fringe benefits, in the introduction, a fringe benefit is a form of pay for the performance of services. For example, you provide an employee with a fringe benefit when you will allow the employee to use a business vehicle to commute to and from work. That's, company car right there, right? It's a fringe benefit. Now, some of these fringe benefits are taxable, which means the employee, contractor, otherwise, has to report that and pay taxes on these fringe benefits, and some of them are not. So if I'm an executive of a public business, and I'm going to keep it real because I'm not biased, this sounds kind of cool right here. So there's specific exceptions for S corporation shareholders. You don't treat a 2% shareholder of an S corporation as an employee of the corporation. Ooh, so you got to be careful, is what I'm saying. You got to understand this stuff. But ultimately, fringe benefit exclusion rules. This section discusses the exclusion rules that apply. These rules exclude all or part of the value of certain benefits from the recipient's pay. So you have to claim it on your taxes. What it's telling me, I don't have to claim it on my taxes. Since I'm talking about taxes, I'm not an attorney or a lawyer. None of that. I don't give legal advice. If you need legal advice, contact a competent attorney or lawyer. I am neither nor. Nine. So exclusion, this section discusses the exclusion rules for the following fringe benefits. Meals, 50%. Remember what I was talking about? Transportation, I can get a company car. Retirement planning services. I like it. Moving expense reimbursements. Okay. Health savings accounts, HSAs. I like that. Group term life insurance. Oh, group though, not individual, group. Term life insurance too. It's like term. I don't know. Employer provided cell phones. Hey, that's a benefit. Most all of us have a cell phone. Employee stock options. Okay, cool. Employee discounts. Educational assistance. I like that. Accident and health benefits. De minimis benefits, like coffee or something, providing coffee for de minimis. That's about it, really. No additional cost, services, and tuition reductions. Working condition benefits. That's it. So, there's some fringe benefits that are excluded from your taxable income as an employee for a corporation. So that's what, right? So, now let's talk about private business. Specifically, I don't know. Most of us like to say business trust. So let's go with business trust. So you be private. Now, does a private business trust. We understand the difference between public and private. We understand what private is. There's a private business trust, which is a legal entity. The Internal Revenue Service will give you an EIN for this entity. You can open a bank account for this entity, do business with this entity, buy and sell property, title vehicles with this entity. I'm not playing with you. Is this entity public? Jurisdiction in any of its dealings? Specifically, where or how would a private business be controlled by these just these few documents I went over? Now, a private business is a complete and separate entity. Privately, we all know, this is a trust. So the filing is a different filing. It's not a corporate filing. It's not an individual filing. It's not a sole proprietor filing. It's not an S corp filing. It's a different filing, so there's different things. Now, is there a business trust expenses publication? And does the IRS have rules and regulations with regards to what is expensive and is not expensable with regards to a private business trust? That's a very important question. The answer is no. The trust being a complete and separate entity does not owe its existence from legislation. The legislation didn't create it. It exists as a contract. So I'm gonna be specific. It exists as a contract. And the contract governs the entity. So specifically, a private business is not so strictly governed as a public business is, because a private business does not owe its existence to any legislation or act of Congress or anything in the public. It only has a reporting requirement for the use of Federal Reserve notes. The 1041 is that reporting form. It's a private form. It's not open to the public. Well, Donald Trump, Mitt Romney, all these characters, these actors had to release or give permission. They had to ask them for these things. There's a trust can indemnify. Well, I guess an LLC can indemnify an executive in regards to liability. But like I said, when it comes to what are deductions, what are technically write-offs or allowable expenses to the trust, that is governed by the contract indenture itself. And those who understand trust understand that trustees are allowed to amend the contract. So essentially, every single dollar that leaves the trust account is a deduction because it will not lead if the trustees were not executing the contract because they're under contractual obligation to administer the trust. When we get into this, this stuff flies around, but it's really fundamental. Titling assets, titling property, just having a bank account. You don't need prenups if you deal with trust. I probably shouldn't, I'm not going to say it. I ain't going to say it. I think you can continue to do business by having judgments. Whether it's IRS judgments, bad credit, no credit. Just keep moving, whistling, because it doesn't matter. Because all the assets and all the profiles and the credit of these entities are not being garnished. Notice of levy and garnish, all that stuff. None of that stuff's happening. Other benefits include being under contract. You're executing the contract. You're in a fiduciary responsibility. The books and affairs of a private business is private, not open to public scrutiny. That's a benefit to me. But ultimately, if you're in business, and there's nothing wrong with having an LLC. I administer at this point one of them now, down to one. I think it's a good step if you're moving in the right direction as far as being private. But the benefits of a private business, in my personal humble opinion, far outweigh the benefits of a public business. It's just a lot of regulation, a lot of red tape. The state legislators can propose legislation next term that completely changes how that entity is governed, what it can do, what it can't do at the state level. Requirements and all types of stuff. It's just, there's no control. Lack of control versus control. I don't control the state legislature where I'm at, but I definitely control contract indentures that I administer. I think it's something to think about. Definitely think it's something to think about. And that's pretty much it. Why not? So, hopefully, I went in, it's the foundation. I don't like to, do too much. But I definitely want to be home and accentuate the basic principles that I see with regards to what we need to understand and, where we need to be at fundamentally, foundation, before we can properly start making, correct moves. Because I feel like, man, if I'm not correct where I start, it doesn't matter where I go. And I've lived that many times. If I don't know where I am, how am I going to get to where I'm going? There's no point of reference. So what I do know is High Frequency Radio Network is a big part of the information needed, the big chunk of it over here of what's needed to free oneself and to get in the proper position. Mind state, but most realistically, is position. Like I was telling a friend of mine, so we can focus on earning. We ain't got to focus on saving. We ain't got to focus on investing. We ain't really got to focus on nothing because all that stuff is laid out. We already know what's good with that. We focus on earning, and I think that's, one of the main things missing. From a lot of people's foundation. So, I hope, I trust the show was, beneficial to you. I trust it helps lay just another layer of that foundation, makes it more solid so you can understand and be confident in the things that you do and the things that you want to do. But, my next show, I'm gonna shout out some Supreme Court citations. Shout out a few. So the Supreme Court definitely is superior to the Internal Revenue Service. Supreme Court decisions with regards to the IRS is the law of the IRS. So with these, these understandings and these citations and knowing this, it just makes it easier. And all I want to help is help in this transition. So if you ever need anything, email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. Welcometothefoundation.com is the website. Definitely check it out. A lot of stuff there. I like your feedback on it. It's finally done. Yay. Obviously, highfrequencyradionetwork.com. It looks like I got a couple callers. I'm going to take a couple calls. It's crazy good weather where I am. It's crazy. It be usually relatively colder by this time of year. But I'm really enjoying it. 213-3052. 213-3052.
Hey, what's the deal, Soel?
Where you calling from?
It's me, Soel. Can you
How
hear
you
me?
doing, man? Yeah.
I'm all right. My number had to get redirected till it gets back in order, so I have to use another number till everything gets all right. I'm all right. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, brother.
So L, can you?
Very, very
that's
well.
Good.
To hear
That's good.
from you.
So L, nice to hear from you too. Two things. It deals with like like using your social, like like you get a phone, right, for the business, and do you have to when you open up a phone account, or like you go to the bank and you open up a business account, do we have to give out social? Are we doing them things, or is that a good question for this time right now?
Yeah, I mean, so you talking about for a business?
Yeah, you know how you open up a business account at the bank, with your EIN number, and you go to the telephone company and you have like you open up a telephone, account for the business. Do you have to give them your social, or you don't have to?
It depends on what type of ID you're showing them, for real. I mean, that question right there, as far as the bank and the social, I'm probably going to do a show on that. But if you give them a state issue ID or, whatever, they're going to ask for a social because of the Patriot Act and stuff like that.
Okay.
Now, some people are cool with
passport
that, some people are not.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But, that's just how they do it.
Yeah, because I know, because sometimes when you use the social,
as far
like,
as the phone,
okay.
As far as the phone goes, no, you don't. Like a cell phone or something like that in the business name, no, you don't. You ain't got to get social.
If they ask for your, if they ask you for your social, you be like, yo, this is for the business. You don't need to know my social. I mean, that would be the proper
well,
nah.
I mean, I wouldn't even say
that.
all that. I would just be like, I would just tell them simply, I would not like to personally guarantee it. That's what they're trying to get you to do. No, thank you. I would not like to personally guarantee it. Let's just use the business. If there's a deposit needed, I'll be more than happy to pay a deposit.
Okay.
Keep it that simple.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of callers out there too, listeners too.
Okay, Daddy.
Oh man, it's my pleasure. Man.
All right. Same here. Stay strong and live long. So L, I'm gonna let you take the next caller.
Appreciate you, bro. And you, man. Peace to you, man.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you,
man.
too.
Love. All right, peace.
All right. Same.
I see him. Mellow Bay. Peace, family.
Yes, sir. What the business is. Peace to the gods and the Elohim.
Peace to the God, man. How you doing, man?
I'm glad you asked, brother. I just walked between the doors, and got pieces, you know what I'm saying, of the information and whatnot. I was on the Max Transit, so it was so loud, and it was just so rambunctious on the Max. You know how the public is out there in the public, man. So, it was just something I had to try to get over because they was drowning out the information. When I finally got off the bus, and I got off I got off early just so I can go ahead and man, look, I got to listen. I got to be able to listen, man. Just too much popping off, man. Children wilding out on the bus. The mama allowing it. She letting the child talk back on the bus and different things till somebody just got up out the blue, an older lady like, get your ass over here. And I was just thankful because I'm like, it really does what they say. It takes a village to actually raise a child, man. It really does. And it's going to take all of us to actually build and raise a nation. That's why it's important that we get this information in. That's the reason why we get up out this dead status in different states of, situations that we in, man, that we born into. So, we can work many jobs if you want to. You can send your child and get them prepped and get them ready to build and work into another man's creation. But the thing about it is what we're talking about here is actually being self-sustainable and actually harnessing that God-given creativity. If the energy that we're using right now is from the Creator and we are co-creators, then, man, we got to do a fair change of an energy exchange, bro. That's the reason why things ain't working for us, man, because we're allowing man to misappropriate this energy that we are co-signed with. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm just glad, though, bro. I'm just glad that you stand firm on your square out there in the weather, despite whatever condition may be. And you consistently, you're doing what you're doing, bro. You're holding your obligatable, due to the people. And that's what a nobleman does, Like, instead of hustling for slave debt notes, the note, like you said, man, the true currency, as they said, Article 1, Section 10, diamonds, golds and silvers and precious metal, man, it's the true payment. So we got to really get on it, bro. We got to really start to work and get compensated and pay ourselves with this true value, true value for acceptance, not fiat, not just a promissory note, not just a debtor note. Let's get it in the creditor position. Let's get correct. Let's learn about the constitutional fold. Let's learn about the contract. These things we are born into. So whether we want to or not, remember this, family. There's always somebody who's going to benefit off of your ignorance. I'm just saying it to say to the ones out there listening, what we don't know, someone else will benefit off of it. And they have been doing it for a long time, family. So, I'm just with it, bro. I'm with it. I'm still going through what we going through. I'm piecing together through the storm myself, but at the same time remaining headstrong and just knowing that, man, our ancestors went through a lot, bro. And if we think we going through something, we really need to You know, we need to do the knowledge, man. Do the research. Go back. Study every day. Learn something new daily, man. I tell brothers that daily. Learn something new. When I guide y'all and give y'all a link, when I send y'all to the foundation, when I send y'all to High Frequency Radio Network, when I send y'all to these different outlets and whatnot, brothers come back with me and say, look, man, I just found another jewel. You know, come back and do that. Let's give a fair swap, even exchange. You know what I'm saying? Even swap, fair exchange, no swindle. You know what I'm saying? So it's just what it is, bro. And I thank you once again. You know what I'm saying? I definitely give thanks because I know who is who out here. You know, the masquerade is over with. We can put on, we can costume, and we can parade around, but the masquerade is over with. We see who is who out here, man. And, you know, a lot of us is, you know, we got to reveal that identity, who we are, bro. You know, knowledge yourself, G. Knowledge yourself. Got to have it, man. You know what I'm saying? So, thank you, brother, once again. Thank you for, you know, coming back with these exercises on the private and the public, because they can't be undermined or just breezed past, man, because families really got to grasp these concepts. They got to actually understand and comprehend what's the public versus the private, what controls what and what don't. I mean, we really, if we say we believe in a higher power and a creator, we got to do it, bro. Being more in the private and being more in tune with the natural is connecting you and putting you in that creator's, you know what I'm saying, position, in that creator's jurisdiction, I would say. You know, so
right, yeah.
And I don't want to front on the public neither. So let me just let that say that briefly. I'm not trying to front on the public, because when you do your research and information, check it out. The public is meant to be maneuvered in. I mean, it's okay, but it's just okay because it has limitations upon it, man, for reasons. So, you know, the public is not all, you know, I'm not going to just, you know, stand on it like that and front on it and flex. No, but the public is something that we need to know how to properly do business out in the public, and then know how to conduct our affairs within the private as well. So, you know,
right.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is. I'm gonna leave it at that. So, and you know, it's another one. It's another one, another monumental one. You know what I'm saying? I'm into the studies. I'm still doing it. I got my Black's Law for 10th edition coming Friday. I had to order it from Barnes and Nobles because they didn't have it. So it's coming Friday, man. I got the smoke with me. I got the 10th on the way. You know, I got to get my entomology together, man. You know, say what you mean and mean what you say. If not, don't say nothing at all, man. For real. You know.
Yeah, man.
Real spit.
Keep studying, man. You know, that's all you can do, man, and I respect it. And I keep it moving. I like you got that Blacks, man. Yeah, get your. I'm trying to get my law library up.
Yeah.
I mean?
A man is judged upon his library. Ain't that what they say? So ain't a man judged upon how is it? I'm paraphrasing. A man is judged upon what it is. So is it the quality, or is it the, you know, his library, his, what is it? His plethora that he possessed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I heard wealthy people have large libraries, poor people have large TVs.
Wow. True.
You know what I'm saying?
True. That is so true.
You got the 50-inch screen. Man. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it, but... And of course, there's wealthy people with large TVs, but you know what I'm saying.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, man. So everything's still popping on it. Everything's still popping on the, you know what I'm saying, on the coin, the Kroger bars and whatnot.
Yep. You know, get whatever. You know, it's all about tangible assets. I mean, you know, if you trying to get it with Carrot bars, you want to get it a gram, hit me up. You want to get Eagles, hit me up. You want to get the Chinese panda coins, hit me up. You want that new, I think it's like a bicentennial or some kind of commemorative coin. The eagle, they put the cyst on it. They put the cyst on it with the crown, with the stars on it. Yeah.
I seen it.
Hit me up. It's just like, all I'm talking about is, man, just privately though. I like to acquire stuff without, basically, I'm not. You ain't gonna catch me, buying something online from some random website. Right. You know what I mean? Like I definitely got to do it to where I feel comfortable about the transaction, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I just look to be private, but there are certain avenues that I've come across that I 100% approve and vouch for.
Okay.
So, it's all about tangible. If you're talking about, I'm down. I got your back. And then beyond that, it's just about, in my opinion, I'm just saying, man, people are tripping if they ain't got life insurance. Straight up. It's all bad. And there's like a specific type of life insurance, but
right.
There's so many things that we're missing, Some cats be using them life insurance policies as like a bank. Instead of like large purchases, instead of like, having to take a loan out for their children, their first car or something. Nah, man, they draw off the cash value of their life insurance policies, man. They don't even use banks. They don't even use credit unions. You big, large purchase, and they be having like multiple policies in there, right? And they just, they draw. But the owner of the policy be the same entity, and I ain't gonna get into that part. That's what I'm gonna say. Right. The owner of the policy be the same entity, and they draw the funds off the policy. And then, houses, cars, down payments, all this stuff. Startup loans to start your first business or your second business or whatever,
So you got some of those specifics, life insurance, entities available. You got some of those that
Yeah, I know two cats that are licensed and they can set up life insurance policies. That's one. I think one's in Kansas and the other one's in D.C., but he be in California all the time.
Okay.
But it's deep. That's why I do the foundation, because it's like we need to understand the foundation before we can start talking about stuff like that. Because, if we ain't in the proper entities, if we don't know what we're doing, we're about to get spanked.
True.
Terribly. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of cats are going to the NBA, the NFL to get $5 million, and then they end up in more debt than they did when they ended up, and then before they went in the NFL. Same thing with lottery winners, people who win the lottery. Spend all that money and be in more debt than they were when they first started playing, unless they understand what they're doing or they have someone around them who can teach them how to, be a steward of that, of that currency.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we need a business administrator, man. We got to get into that business admin.
Yeah.
Preferably from an individual who is already in motion with it. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, definitely.
No doubt. No doubt. Hey, but man, big up to the God last week, man. I gotta go on Thor Radio. That brother is ridiculous, man. With those entomology, that brother's ridiculous with that thing, man.
Man, he a master at what he do. When it comes to what he do, he like a Jedi, man.
Right.
Straight up. He is super duper cold with what he does.
Wow.
Cold. And he understands that stuff on a level that. And he was dumbing it down for the show. I still feel like he was shooting so high.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It's bam. Wow. He got a little thing. They be spanking third party creditors, man. They be spanking them, getting money, suing them under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Like, my man, he's like he's a samurai when it comes to that stuff, man.
Yes, sir. Wow.
But yeah, I'm gonna get him on again. But yeah, definitely check him out. Thor Radio, THOR. That's Brother Sharif. My man is, salute to brother Sharif. He definitely came down. He shut it down last week. Numbers for that show was kind of crazy.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Man.
But yeah, I'm gonna keep, bringing it, man. There's so much stuff, but still, man, it don't matter. We got to learn. That's why, study, not just study.
Right.
Man.
Right.
Study.
Yep. Indeed, bro. Indeed. Definitely right, bro. So, it's another one, man. It's definitely another one. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to let family know, man, everybody out there listening, man, be true to self before anything or anybody else. You can't be true to nobody or nothing else, man, until you be true to self first. So, get yourself right. Put yourself in a position of where you can be in the controller seat and no one else can be making decisions, controlling and affecting you and your family, you and yours. So, like you say, so if you ain't got it in your hand, then you can't throw it up and you can't do your dance. So,
Yeah, for real.
Get yourself in a position where you can throw it up and do your dance, man. And then when it fall back down, you and the family can confiscate that and regenerate that and aggregate that and put that all into something, put it into a trust or something, you know what I'm saying? Do something with it, man.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I appreciate you,
Appreciate
man.
you calling in,
Appreciate
man.
you.
Nah, man. All honors, man. All praises, man. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate
Indeed.
you calling
Likewise.
in.
Likewise. Man.
Have a great week. Check me out
Thank
next
you so
week,
much.
man.
I will.
All right, man.
I'm gonna see what Friday looking like, man. We'll see what Friday what it's pending on. I'm gonna see what the biz is, man. Try to squeeze in something, man. I gotta squeeze in some coins or something, though, man. I gotta do something, man. Thanks, so.
Yeah. Take care of it. Well, Jay, man, thanks for calling in, man. Thanks for checking out the show, man. I'm gonna holler at you next time. Appreciate you, man.
That'll work, man. Peace to God, indeed.
All right. Peace to God in a minute. Oh, yeah. All right, that's, look, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's, the Internet of Things. Maybe it's Blog Talk. I'm not blaming anyone or anything. I'm just saying right around this time, this stuff gets weird. The switchboard, Blog Talk, I hear static. So I'm going to wrap it up. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all for checking out the show. In closing, when it comes to being private, when it comes to understanding what's going on, when you're dealing in the public, there's limited liability. When you're doing it in the private, there is no limited liability. 100% liable. But I think it starts with, the way we think, the way we behave, the way we carry ourselves. Me personally, I don't like to make too many excuses. I don't like to do what's known as lose face or, lose nobility. So I don't make too many excuses. I don't blame too many people for my situation or my circumstances. I don't like to project onto other people. I'm very, very honest with myself, and I like to be very forth with acknowledging my fault. And I think that's part of being noble, and it's also part of being a true, noble man, as well as a private, man. I handle my own thing. I don't need nobody to tell me too much that I'm tripping or I need to change this or whatever. I'm really looking to improve myself moment to moment, minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day, so on and so forth. And I'm not looking for no easy way out. And I'm not really looking for accolades or fame. So it makes it easier, maybe for me, to understand the distinctions between this public and private stuff. If I hit somebody, I don't need insurance. You know what I mean? If I run into somebody in the vehicle, it's going to be taken care of. The insurance lapse is going to be taken care of. I'm not the type of person to be like, yeah, I'm going to come through and then hit you up the day of or something like that and be like, oh, there was an emergency. Unless there was, like, for real an emergency and someone's dying. Like, I'm a man of my word. And when it comes to, you know, there are many, many benefits of doing business privately, to going private, so on and so forth. But the ultimate thing is you need to understand, you need to be a man or woman of your word. You need to be a noble. You need to be progressing, self-improving, looking to better yourself, looking to know yourself, and looking to move forward and not make no excuses. It would be one of the illest companies if everybody that we did business with within the company, whether you're an employee or not, didn't have any excuses and did what they were expected of them. You know how productive that would be? You know how productive your friendship would be if you didn't lie? You know how productive your marriage would be if you didn't lie to each other? You just told the truth? Just kept it real? You know how productive your life would be if you just kept it real? Like, man, I ain't never liked this job. Ever. I'm done. I ain't going no more. Keep it real. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do that. The real voice in my head says, well, you can do that, but you ain't got to do this. You trying to tell me this is the only thing you can do? So? And in my mind, I'm like, well, no. There's other things I can do. And that, to me, that's being real, you know? For listening to that voice inside of me and being true and honorable to that. Because at the end of the night, and that, you know, when I lay down, all I got to do is listen. The only voice that I can't say shut up, the only voice that I can't walk away from, the only voice that I can't, you know, move away from, the only voice that I can't punch in the mouth to make it stop. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. I keep it real. I'm with y'all. From y'all. Is the voice in my head. And I found like keeping it real, brutal honesty, and just being a nobleman has really quieted that negative voice. And it's allowed me to understand and bring into fruition, to manifest these benefits of private business so that I can hand them on to you. See how I brought all the way around. I brought it all the way around. But I'm dead serious. You know, this is what I mean. Like, actually doing something and achieving and being progressive usually tends to naturally bleed over into other portions of your life and other things that you're doing. So, there's full liability in the private. Understand that. But self-governance is what you were looking for, because that's what the private is. And it's not going to come easy. And you're not going to be able to blame someone else. So, you know, to why you didn't administer this, or if you're discharged and wired and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, it just doesn't work. We got to stay in honor at all costs in the private. We got to understand what honorable is. I dishonor myself when I lie. I dishonor myself and my name, my family name, when I blame the effects of my ridiculous and immature actions on you. That is dishonor. I understand private, personal dishonor so well, which enables me to understand legal, lawful, commercial dishonor. I'm done ranting. I love y'all. You know, I can digress to here and talk all night. I appreciate y'all. Welcome to thefoundation.com. It is popping. Straight up. So, it's popping. I'm so excited. It looks great as far as I'm concerned. Once again, welcome to thefoundation.com. Please check it out. Please email me. Sign up for the email list. Let me know what you think of the site. Yada, 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 yada. Check out the, PDF section. The PDF section is up. The archive section is up. It's up. It's up and running. So it's no longer in a different language. I can stop sending me any emails. But, shout out to my homie, T Benjamin. For privacy sakes. Welcome to thefoundation.com. Like I said, HighFrequencyRadioNetwork.com. I'm always, always, always thankful for Big Brother Yusuf, man, because if it wasn't for Big Brother Yusuf, there wouldn't be no So L for Straight Up Show. So always, always, peace to you for checking out the show. Peace to you if you refer the show. Peace to you for just trying to be better. Please enjoy yourself. Be good to yourself. And I'll catch y'all next week.
Doing this thing all the way live. High Frequency Radio.